Dajaha,
Здравейте всички!
marhaban bil jamia.
Всем привет!
Buongiorno a tutti.
Bienvenue à tous!
Hello and welcome
everyone.
Welcome to Logosmoon. So we are two language nerds studying at university, and we've been studying different languages for many years. How many years have you been studying now?
10 years maybe,
10 years.
15 years.
Yeah, actually, I think around the same time for me, maybe 13. I'm actually both a personal English and Italian tutor, and we're working on trying to expand our knowledge about linguistics and also this kind of passion that we may have for languages.
We also wanted to say that there's so much to languages than just memorization, and it can be so much fun to share this knowledge with the world. Yeah,
absolutely, especially because I feel like nowadays when it comes to languages in general, we do see these types of hyper efficient learn English in 15 days, learn Mandarin Chinese in a week, and I think we want to break through that stigma and that taboo of studying in general.
Yeah, this is something we definitely want to talk about, the polyglotism, or this world of polyglots in social media right now, which is becoming so popular because people seem to talk about it and get really influenced by it in the wrong way, perhaps.
Absolutely. And I feel like also in contemporaneity, we also see maybe linguistics taking less importance in general with all these language learning models. We've started to forget maybe what the human aspect of linguistics and of language learning, which we'll love to talk about also in future videos.
Yeah, exactly. This human aspect, we find it both very, very important, not only because languages are an instrument to express yourself, but also to understand human relations, to understand a culture, to understand the worlds around you.
Absolutely. I mean, that is one of the first things that you do learn in linguistics, is that languages are a social phenomenon, right? So they follow so deeply and they're so intertwined with the culture, with societal aspects, besides also biological and anatomical aspects, which we'll definitely delve into a little bit in the future. But it's so nice to not forget these, kind of, they seem a little bit more frivolous aspects of it, but I think they're very interesting.
Yeah, I hope that in future videos we will also be able to speak in different languages.
Yes.
We're lucky enough to be studying languages and linguistics, so as we learn new languages, we will also produce content in different languages.
Absolutely. I think what's very interesting is that nowadays you do usually see that either someone is an expert immediately, and so that type of language learning is going to be kind of broken by this barrier of, what if I get wrong? What if I'm a super beginner? But I think it's also interesting to show the intermediate aspects, show us studying. What are the difficulties that maybe English speakers could have with Chinese, or maybe European speakers? I come from a Romance language, which is Italian.
I come from a Slavic language.
And what are the difficulties maybe with what we're used to with learning Arabic, with learning Chinese, with even French, or what are the similarities in these types of languages?
Yeah, and I think it's really important to get the basics right, the building blocks right first, and that's something that's being ignored. Like, let's learn a language in 15 days.
Let's go through the vocabulary immediately.
Yes,
let's learn 20,000 words, but we're going to have difficulty pronouncing house, maybe.
Right. Exactly. So in the end, is that really what languages are about?
Yeah, is it about the efficiency, like the end goal, or is it about the journey? And we're going to talk a lot about the journey in general, because it's a fundamental aspect of, I think, the passion that you'll also find with learning. We want learning and linguistics in general to be something fun, that we see how they're so interconnected with so many different subjects.
Exactly, with everything else, and that's also what we want to incorporate in these videos, not only the language learning itself, but how it relates to everything else in the world.
And we've talked about linguistics in general. Let's talk about a little bit about us, so you guys can understand who we are and where we come from. So I'll start with Eva.
Yeah, so I'm Eva. I come from Bulgaria originally. I've moved around quite a lot. I'm finally settled here in Bologna, but I speak a few different languages. I've been living in the US for 3 years. After that, I moved to Germany. I've been living there for almost 2 years. Now I'm here in Italy. And I'm lucky enough to have this experience behind my back and be able to learn from it.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I feel like is always really important is the aspect of traveling,
Yeah.
when it's obviously possible, because there's a lot of privilege with being able to travel everywhere. But if we do have the opportunity, which I feel like in Europe is a little bit more facilitated, I think it's really important. It helps you open and broaden your mind. I obviously come from both Italian and American background, was born here in Italy. I'm Giada, by the way. And I grew up in the United States for around 10 years before coming back to Italy, living a little bit abroad in England and France. Speak Italian, French, and English, obviously. And I'm on my journey, 3 years learning Chinese, soon enough Arabic. We're going to be doing that a lot together. And talking about so many different aspects of these language learning, which is not always going to be grammar, it's not always going to be phonetics, but it's going to be those fun little things that made us fall in love with these types of languages.
Yeah, exactly. I'm also lucky enough to start my journey with Chinese and Arabic and Dutch and some other languages in the meantime.
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited for everything that's coming. And in the end, when you speak many languages, you really see the world in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Your perspective changes and your meaning of life literally transforms. And that's something I find really, really beautiful.
Absolutely, absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. So in future videos, expect to see just a range of topics. We're going to be talking about linguistics, but we're also going to be talking about aspects that maybe can also delve into a little bit of philosophical aspects of life in general, because why not, right? Learning isn't just about one specific niche. It's about being able to broaden, read books in different languages, talk about so many different things.
Talk with natives in different languages, explore their habits, their rituals, their traditions, what makes them them, and what makes them see the world the way they see their world.
Exactly. And how do languages, take a part in how we construct our sense of self, our sense of identity, and then the society that creates around this obviously living thing. It's an organism, really. So, until next time, 再见.
Do widzenia.
Amasala.
Пока-пока.
Arrivederci.
Au revoir.
See you next time.
Bye bye.